It's Ron Reader digs the universe. I'm Ron Reader, and this is Ron Reader Digs the Universe. And tonight, Lizzo tastes the forbidden flute. Shamefully, I must admit that I never checked her out before this interesting racial controversy at which she is the center broke into the headlines last week. I say shamefully because Lizzo is from my hometown, Houston, and I want to give my support to any and all artists who break out of this burg. But I also say shamefully because she's pretty fucking awesome, and I'm several years late to the party. The A-Leaf Elsick High School graduate, which is, a 15-minute drive from where I am right now here in Houston, who studied classical flute performance at the University of Houston, isn't simply awesome. She's like Stevie Wonder or Prince level awesome in terms of her command of R&B's transcendental soul power. She's got that funk. And her flute playing prominently featured in her songs, wow, like Peter Gabriel with Genesis or Ian Anderson with Jethro Tull, smoothly transitioning from compelling vocals to poignant flute, or like Louis and Chet doing the same thing but with their trumpets. I'm a fanboy now, blown away. So, of course, this racial controversy I mentioned is stupid. Lizzo was invited by the Library of Congress to play a crystal flute presented to 4th President and Founding Father James Madison in the early 19th century by the Frenchman who designed it. Crystal was used for a time before the musical instrument came to be made of metal because it was considered acoustically superior to the wood or ivory also used at the time. And Lizzo played this historic flute twice, once in a nicely echo-laden chamber at the Library of Congress itself, and later that night at her DC show. Both performances were pretty great. The first one reminded me of jazz flautist Paul Horn in the early 1970s playing inside the Taj Mahal and building chords and counterpoint with the echoes, sort of playing with himself. Lizzo twerked a bit at the night show. And it was the twerking that gives the outraged fascists what they believe to be reasonable non-racist cover for their ensuing white supremacist freakout. Their angle is that they're not being racist, but rather deeply concerned about Lizzo's, obscenity? One conservative called it a desecration of American history, another called it racial retribution, yet another said she took a dump on the American flag. Yeah, they're talking about twerking, right? Butt shaking that in principle differs from Elvis's hip gyrations, not at all. So really, it's not the twerking, it's the blackness, as in this black person is being allowed to touch a sacred American, white American artifact, and that is an affront to white supremacy. Fucking racist shit. No two ways around it. And it's the same kind of white supremacist thinking that comes into play with criticisms of national anthem kneelers, or of playing Lift Every Voice and Sing, the black national anthem at sporting events, or with school dress codes forbidding black hairstyles. It's white people telling black people how to be American. I think black people already know how to be American just fine and need no white-splaining in this area, but really the issue is that white supremacists simply don't accept black people as real Americans, and that's why Obama has to be from Kenya. And that's why Lizzo has to have taken a dump on the American flag by playing a flute. Fuck these people, fucking racist, fucking shit, fascist people. I'm gonna go listen to some Lizzo now. I'm Ron Reeder, and this has been Ron Reeder Digs the Universe. Join me, Ron Reeder, again next week for another episode of Ron Reeder Digs the Universe.